So I'm the school president of Physics and Astronomy.
History, and I graduated in June.
So I'm school president for Geography and Sustainable Development this year.
Mathematics and Statistics.
I graduated from the School of History in June.
I studied in the School of English.
I think I felt quite a mix of emotions that year because I was very nervous, sort of taking exams at university level for the first time. One thing I would say is remember that just if you find something difficult, it doesn't mean that you're not capable. Other students are probably finding it just as hard. There are moments where you can feel a bit panicked and like, I'm not ever going to be able to do this, but it doesn't mean that you're not intelligent or stupid. It just means maybe you need to spend a bit more time on it.
I was nervous for my first set of exams because obviously it was the first time I'd done an exam since school, and you don't know what to expect from university exams. It was a bit of a step up. Exams are an important part of sort of the university life, but really nothing to worry about too much.
So I think the most important thing in revision for me is set your own pace. You know, you don't have to stay up till 2 a.m. in the library every day. You don't have to be up at 8 a.m. just because that's what your friends are doing. And the most important thing is to focus on revising your understanding rather than revising like what kind of questions would come up.
Usually if we do most of all of the tutorials and understand the lecture notes, they can't really surprise you at the exam.
So when it comes to preparing for exams, I like to mix things up. So sometimes I went to the library, sometimes I went to a cafe or a coffee shop and just mixed it up really. And it's worth turning up to all these places really early because the library and some of the more common study spaces get filled up really early on in the day.
So I like to collate all my coursework and all the notes that I've taken throughout the semester from my various classes, and sort of I'm a person that likes to write my notes down, and that's how I remember things. So with history there's a lot of events, a lot of key dates, and a lot of people, and it may seem tedious just going over it over and over again, but it really does help.
Definitely make sure you get enough sleep. There's a big temptation the day before to be cramming every last bit of information that you can get in. But actually I found at university it's less about kind of regurgitating facts and more about actually thinking carefully and critically about information now. So you're better to just do the preparation and then let it percolate in your brain.
Usually I like to take the night off before, so I go home and watch a movie. I also put my notes under my pillow during the night, so the knowledge just goes into my brain through the pillow. It usually works, but only if I do the tutorials and memorize the lecture notes.
Make sure your water bottle is full up. I always like the water in exams.
Maybe come to terms with the fact that you will have some questions which are not ideal, or that all the things you really prepared for in depth you won't get, you know.
Drink lots of water, but not too much water. I tend to avoid coffee before exams because I find it makes me more nervous. And then sit in the exam, just relax, pretend it's a past paper, you know? It's no different really.
Make sure you sleep well the night before. Wake up with plenty of time for the exam. If it's a morning exam, make sure you eat a good breakfast. Afternoon exam, eat a good lunch or whatever. Make sure you're hydrated, drink lots of water. When you get into the exam itself, make sure you're comfortable, that your phone is turned off. That one's incredibly important, and it'll be repeated over and over again, but I've seen it happen. Somebody's phone go off in an exam and it is obviously horrifying. So make sure you have your matriculation card, that you're comfortable, you're not too hot, not too cold, that you've got enough pens, etc. And just really read the question paper, read the exam paper and answer the question. That's the most important thing. Just make sure that you actually answer the questions you're being asked.